Hello, this is Miho. How are you guys doing? I hope your mental and physical health are good and fit. So, I'm recording this in Canada, and today I'm going to talk about letting go of this one thing so that you feel so much stabilized and at peace. So, this one thing is the desire for a validation or approval from the others. It could be your parents, it could be any of your family members, or maybe coworkers or friends or boss at work. And when you think about this, it rooted back to your childhood. When you're a child, you always look up, for the people around you, older, parents or siblings. And when they say, oh, you did a great job, and that makes you feel so good, right? And that really makes you go forward to learn more, to try and go adventurous and push your limits to do things, right? And then you get praised or approved. I knew you could do it. You did it. You're wonderful. You're awesome, right? And then you can go forward further, right? So this is a great loop. But what if you didn't get that when you're a child, you're growing up? You always have to aim higher because it wasn't good enough for them. It was not good enough for them, so that you try harder and you present what you did, and then they say, well, you could do better, or that's all you could do. Those comments, right? It hurts. And you try harder and harder to please them, or try to get validation from them, try to get approval, how much you put in an effort, and so that you feel really good about yourself. So this loop is endless. Probably people around you people around you didn't mean to hurt you, maybe try to encourage you to go further. But as a child or as a teenager, it's a tough road because there is no end to it. You try harder to please, to get approval. You try even harder, to show how much you've grown. But there's no approval. There's no great or awesome job done. And it really hinders you from try harder, because you get tired. You exhaust your resources, and it's just feel like you're not worthy. You try harder and harder, but it's not good enough for them. And that equals to good enough for yourself either, because there's no approval or validation from other people saying you're good, right? So when you feel this way, when you have this feelings that rooted back to the childhood, I feel you, because that's where I got struggled so much. And it makes you cry because it hurts. It's suffocating because there's no room to rest. So when you can release this feeling or the desire to get approval or validation from the others, that's a big shift. That's a big step. That's a big relief. And it took me years to come to a realization that you don't really need the approval or validation from the others. You're doing things to improve yourself, to grow yourself, not for people around you. It's all back to you, right? It's good to have those people around, of course, and it really encourages you, to go forward, even though you feel like giving up. But people who are encouraging and cheering you, it's so precious to have those people around you. But when you're little, you might not have choice, right? You might have the adults around you that are not giving you a good sense of encouragement, right? It's always criticize you or discourage you or saying you're not good enough, you could do more, or, just didn't get approval from them, so how much you want to, do more of the work, right? Being criticized. So when you have this kind of experience growing up, I know it's tough, but when it comes down to is that when you look for the approval, that's the reason why you try harder at work or, anything in your life. It leaves the emptiness, even though you reach to the max of what you could do. But because you always try to please the others, the feeling, and try to get their praise or approval, validations that you're good, you're now awesome, you're all, great person. It leaves you the feeling of emptiness inside because you're not fulfilling yourself, because you're always putting the values that you do outside judgment, right? So comes down to yourself, and when you approve or admit yourself being good, that's good enough, to feel yourself, and it makes yourself feel good about what you're doing, about things that you do, the amount of work you put in. It's not, how they approved of, how much work put in. It's not how other people will feel that, you're good enough, right? So release those desire to get approval and validation, right? It could be your work, it's tough, but it just release that desire, and that make you feel so much lighter and feel at peace, and you're not feeling like you're always being chased and work and try to please emptiness or the others. So when you can release those desire to feel approved by the others, you feel much better, because now you can only need to satisfy yourself. And that is what it comes down to. Like, you need to fulfill yourself first. Otherwise, you'll be left with emptiness. Even though you reach the awesome, the praise or the goal in your life. And you always praise yourself. And you always cheerleading yourself. Right? So you can just let go of the need for others to praise you, and then you will feel so good about yourself that when other people praise you or give you a validation, you feel so much better. But the core part is you, so you're not always trying very hard to work to get the to approval and validations. Okay, so this is a big one, but try to release that need, and you can really focusing on yourself much better, and you feel much better about yourself, and you can go much further. Okay, so hope this helped, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.